And this is our poem, Shattered Shapes. Is Earth not a place
that is just readying us for the inferno destined for us after we pass?
Because when I look at the melting and the fires and the destruction, I see a realm already doused in flames, looking more like hell day by day.
And I think people should be less worried about when
hell freezes over,
and more about whether
this world will again.
But still, people ignore the heat and the ash, and they're gonna let my home
choke
in the
smoke,
and smog.
And those that have the power to stop this uncontrollable pyre, watching as we burn, laughing like it's just a game.
Because they believe they'll be long gone before they're caught by the flames.
I feel an almost hypocritical happiness that they have forgotten about the blaze that awaits them in those depths. But
I won't remind them, even as I hear those grating jeers. I don't care what happens to them, because their difference as to what my future is should be reciprocated.
An eye
for an eye,
a life
for a life. And perhaps it is cruel of me to doom them to an eternity of being kindling in an inferno with no chance of escape.
But they've already done the same to the world I love.
Without remorse or regret, shameless in their monstrosity.
And so I feel no guilt ignoring their destinies, especially when it is their fault.
They believe in their own morality and forget their
mortality.
Perhaps if they repented for the pain they've caused everyone else to feel, I could help them. And maybe I should, too.
But I'm not dumb enough to believe they'll change if I wanted enough. I haven't worn those rose-tinted glasses since they ripped them off my face and crushed them under a pair of smooth St. Laurent loafers, turning them into pink dust at their feet.
I can't pick them up anymore because the pieces that aren't dust are shards stabbing my hands.
So that way I can't fix them. Fingers bound in gauze.
It makes the red, hot, hungry rage blaze through my veins, burning bitter and bright.
And though I love
the feeling,
I am afraid that it will make me a charred husk, crumbling at the slightest touch until I am just
ashes and dust,
whispering through the breeze of the winds
of the fire they started.
Within me and the inferno of my world,
burning brilliantly, hotter and stronger than the sun that once created life.
And now the one that scorches the once vibrant green and blue from a broken planet. Bones.
And the glass of our shattered shapes.
And this is my poem. Fascism is a business major. A frat bro, the kind that gets caught in his house basement. No, officer, I swear we weren't hazing. We're all just shirtless and covered in baby oil. For fun. Fascism ChatGPT's all his assignments. Canned analysis of Catcher in the Rye for his English 100 class, but Holden Caulfield just really gets him, you know? He AIs his grocery list, his emails, his text to his situationship, which he still calls his situationship, despite being a grown man. Fascism uses Snapchat. He has a friend studying engineering and interning for Lockheed Martin. Fascism paints his frat house white. He has a middle part and doesn't wash his navy sheets, doesn't put his posters into frames, doesn't have a bed frame, and never drives slower than 50 miles per hour in his car, which of course does not have a muffler. Fascism always smells like plastic bottle liquor and Miami mint. And fascism is inviting you to a party this Friday. And at this party, he'll hold your phone above your head, comparing hand sizes. God, you're just so short and tiny. No matter how many times you say, sorry, I'm not interested. No, really, I'm not interested. Hey, man, can you back up? He calls you a dyke under your breath when you ask your friend to cover your cup while you use the bathroom, and once you leave, his friend swoops in, just another distraction, the old bait and switch. Fascism slips something into your drink. Follows you into a dark room. He doesn't shut the door. Fascism takes your silence as consent. You didn't say no. And if you did, he didn't hear it. And if you screamed no, then he didn't hear it. And if he did, then he doesn't care. There were just too many people who didn't listen and didn't care, too swept up in the haze of nicotine and the sound of house music and the chatter of their own mundane lives to notice you were screaming no! They do notice you screaming. It isn't fascism who asks you what you were wearing. He didn't turn his back on your drink. He didn't shut the door.
And this is my poem titled Fire. I am going to issue a trigger warning for gun violence, so if anyone would like to leave the room, I will give you a minute to do so. Okay. Hiss and snap goes the fire in the wall. It's quiet in the school when class is going on. Snap and hiss, children laughing down the hall. They sit unaware of their lives being pawned. Crackle and pop, he's alone, but not afraid. Standing by the sink, splashing water on his face. Pop and crackle, in his backpack lies the fate of all the lives inside the school's iron gates. Thud, 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 students walk into class. The day goes on with nothing to remember. Tap, 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 he's walking much too fast, turning every corner with eyes dull as embers. Click, 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 go the heels by the stand. The teachers talk and eat while the fire keeps on growing. Click, click, click goes the gun in his hand, the blaze in his head, gnashing, clawing, glowing. Beep, beep, beep. The alarm starts to bark. Teachers calmly lead. Creep, creep, creep. He is waiting in the dark. The fire starts to bleed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Snap! Pop! Crack! 1, 2, 3. Crack! Hiss! Pop! 1. All it takes is a minute. Time is the only cost. All it takes is a moment for a life to be lost. All it takes is a second, a smile, a wave, and that's what we remember, even on our dying days. To remember the fire of souls unbound are the souls of children who just want to be found. To remember that choices have consequences for all, and that choices are driven by life's cruel call.
And this is my poem, "Oh, to be Unfathomable." I wish I could write the way I think. Overlapping text with bolded, faded ink, wholly nonsensical, entirely legible, observed as God overlooks his creations. Not seeing, but understanding each and every piece, receiving 100% attention. Looked upon with love and loss and a truly rageless anger only a deity can muster. But the reality of language is so restricting, leashes of letters and ledgers tugging at my throat, so close yet so far from truly saying something. While my pen whispers tales of stories untold, my voice hums silhouettes of poems unspoken. I can't give up this illusion of completion, connection, satisfaction, someone. So I'll keep running, out of breath, out of time, out of rhythm, line after line. My rhymes fall flat, my tongue goes slack. The fight is proving endless and maddening, but I refuse to succumb to the lonely reality of my skull. How do you translate the primal shudder of fear? How do you articulate the terrifying hum of madness? How do you truly reach a creature whose very atoms repel your own? I can hear my ribcage ring out as she clatters against her ivory cage. My flesh continues to rear against the suffocating isolation brewing beneath my skin as I yearn for the closeness that language promised me all those years ago. I wish I wrote the way I thought I could. The words becoming mine as they seep from my fingertips and returning to the collective as they're perceived and consumed and digested and sent back into the world to be recycled once more. rejoining the collections of catalysts, little pieces of my soul carried on in the eyes of her beholders. I imagine winds carrying the hopeful voices of alphabetical prophets, scriptures singing sermons of ancient promises of ascension via articulation, Bibles stuffed and hung on the hopeful walls of kindergarten classrooms. Looked up to, understood, loved, anything they want, everything I thought they could be.